Okay. Um, I recognize there's a highly respected gentleman who insists that young people who are morally idealistic clean their room before they try to save the world. So, possibly the full quote attributed to him regarding this idea is that you should set your house in order before you try to, you know, criticize the world or save the world or something. Um, I haven't deeply studied every context in which he's mentioned this advisement, but I want to share something from my personal life which I think will help you out if you're someone who is uh, not somebody with high domain general conscientiousness, and instead you're kind of like me and you're extremely conscientious within specific domains that pertain to your natural interests, but maybe not super conscientious outside of those, okay? And it's that when I was dealing with, say, unemployment or depression or just a life situation in which I didn't have a whole lot of energy and I wasn't always taking supplements or exercising properly or sleeping deeply or relieving stress or protecting my boundaries against people who mistreated me habitually, I would still make a point to set aside just a few dollars for financially efficient charities and clarify to key loved ones that I was giving money to certain charities, okay? So I'm not saying that's rational for other people, but even when I had next to no money whatsoever, I would still give to certain charities. And I don't necessarily think this is an indication of being, you know, morally exceptional or something. It's just early on in my personal journey, I formed the notion that if I front load my life with helping others, then I wouldn't feel quite as bad if I started serving myself more often, kind of by instinct as I got older. So that's proven to be true for the most part. And just to fixate on the point I intended to make when I clicked the record button right now, I have a certain respect for people who start to first help, say, their family and then their neighborhood and then their city and then their state and then their country and then the rest of the world. But I opted to help people in accordance with the severity of their suffering as well as the cheapness with which I could help them according to certain sorts of analyses I had conducted in my early 20s, thanks to data and arguments I had been collating and working with kind of in a very deep way back then. So right now my room is not spotless at all. In fact, I could stand to spend at least 15 focused minutes cleaning it up so it looks much better and maybe helps regulate my nervous system. It makes me calmer by default as I go about my day. But I'm not really frazzled or perturbed. And, my mind is fixated on the big picture of the total impacts I'd like to have across time, regardless of whether or not my room happens to be a mess from one day to the next or even one week to the next. So if my room is messy, certain kinds of people, particularly the poor, are not going to suffer more or less. But if I abstain from thinking about, allocating resources in certain ways during the next, say, 6 months or 5 or 10 years of my life, and I obsess over polishing my room and obviously everything that pertains to giving me localized status or something, then I will be inadvertently involved in worsening the suffering in the world, and I do not find that tolerable.